All right. Hello, hello. Let's get out of my stream counter here. I saw that Elliot was down for some playtesting. Oop. I was testing on my phone. We don't need to hear me coming out of my phone also. Let me get the web version of the game. I put the link on the frame. Which way do I have to point? Point there. The bit.ly link will go to... Oops. Wrong button. The bit.ly link will go to the sort of like in development version of Retro Tank Party. And if I make commits to the Git repo, they'll automatically get pushed to this place. So I'm hoping, as I make changes, we can go back to that link and see how it works. So I'm just going to drop that link in Discord. I'll drop it. Well, I guess you can see it on the stream. Let me get a private match set up. And we will see when Elliot gets in there. We can give the game a little test before we start settling in to make some improvements. While we're waiting, I can take a peek at my Trello board that I've got going for this project, for the project of trying to get Retro Tank Party published to Steam in only 6 weeks. There's a lot of columns here, probably more than I should have, but in progress is kind of what we're focused on. The main thing I've really got to do is get that Steam page finished on the Steam backend, because there's all these delays. Like I have to get the Steam page, and then they have to review it, and it's going to take some number of days, and then I have to put up a build, and then they have to review it, and it's going to take some number of days. So that's the main priority. But the thing we're going to actually be working on today is adding some visual juice to the game. I don't entirely know what that means, but the ideas that I have is adding some screen shake, making the tanks flash when they get hit, maybe some particles for when the tanks are driving around, like kind of dust, dirt particles, or something like that. We shall see when we dig in. Still don't see Elliot over in the match here. I'll put the match ID over in the YouTube stream chat as well. Oh, there's Elliot. Here, we'll start it up. If anyone else is in the process of joining, just let me know in one of the chats, Discord or on YouTube, and we can quit this match, set up a new match ID, and get you in. All right, let me go find Elliot so I can shoot him. There he is. Wow, the stream is actually making the game work quite a bit choppier than usual. Guess that's what I get for streaming and recording. And ooh, I got targeted bullets. Don't know what Elliot picked up. Hopefully nothing too dangerous. Ooh, spread. I'm taking it. Oh, come on. First victory is mine. You able to do another match, Elliot? Had to drop either for technical difficulties or had to go. I will create another match ID and throw it in here in case anyone else wants to join. Elliot's back. Here, let me just finish putting some links in here. Oop, Discord wants to put its magic Discord link. I'll put the real one. All right. Yeah, this game is definitely a lot more fun if we can get more people involved. As a 3-year, ooh, I don't even know how I won. I didn't think I was making that many hits. Yeah, I imagine it is. Elliot's saying it's weird talking to me in the past. It's weird too because I see on my screen here like some version of the feed which is so many seconds delayed. When we get our normal playtest sessions going, we were talking about doing trying to do daily playtest sessions during the week as I'm making changes. Starting next week, we'll do Discord and we can chat like normal in real time. All right. Yeah, let's get down to it. So, I'm thinking juice wise. Ooh, not sound. Visual juice. Either screen shake or making the tank flash when it gets hit. I think those are where I want to start. Maybe with the tank maybe the tank flashing when it gets hit. That's easier. So it's been a long time since I've been in this code. I've been working a little bit on the raw networking, which I have like in an asset that I'm going to put in the Godot asset store sometime soon. But not the gameplay. I have not touched the gameplay code in here since 2019 for sure. So let's look at the tank scene. The tank script. So what happens when a tank gets hit? How are we take damage? Okay, so we've got a take damage method, which I guess on the network master we're deducting health and either killing the tank or telling the other clients who are connected what the new health is. So I think we just need to add something here to make the tank flash. So let's start easy. We'll start by modulating the color of the sprites. We'll add an animation player. And we need to add a new animation, say flash. And let's go to the tank sprites. I think it's made of 2 sprites. Yep, it's made of a body sprite and a turret sprite. We're going to need to animate the color modulation on both. So actually, yeah, what is the difference with self-modulate? I think there's not inherited by children. Modulate is inherited by children. So I think we might be able to modulate the color on, well, no, because if we modulate the color on the whole tank, that's going to mess with the player name too. Although it's worth trying. I want to see what that looks like. Let's see what that looks like. Let's modulate the color on the whole tank. Hang on. I got to get the animation open here so it'll give me this little key. Press the little key. Let an animation frame. Second. The second seems kind of long. Do a half second. So we'll start with no modulation. That's white. Let's go here. We'll add another keyframe. We'll make it be red. Oh yeah, that totally does. Modulates the player name too. We'll add that, and then we will go back for the last frame. And yeah, let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that is slow. That is much too slow. We want just a quick flash. So let's try 0.3 seconds maybe. Bring this one back to, here, let's zoom in so we can, oop. Zoom in, not out. Set 0.1. 2. Let's just see what that looks like. Yeah, that's a good speed. And actually, I only did that for 0.2, so we can shorten the total animation time. And now we just have to say the tank will play that animation when it gets hit. Let's make a quick variable so we can grab that easily. Animation player play flash. So that should work. What do I have to do to test this locally? Oh man, it's been so long since I've worked on this, I'm not even sure. So if I play it here, did that connect me to the live server? Did that connect me to my local server? The questions I need to answer for my first stream, for really my first time working on this in a year or more. So if this follows the asset, then I should have an autoload folder with a build. Okay, so this is using the default values, which means it must be connecting to my local Nakama server. And then I have to start a second. Just close some of these terminal windows. I was working on the website earlier. Metro Tank Party. We'll start a second instance of Godot. And match. Okay, so we have 2D Snowpex in a match together. Let's go see what happens when I shoot myself here. Yeah, flashes. I don't know if I... Interestingly, though, the label isn't flashing. Like, it was flashing, it was changing color in the editor, but not here. Yeah, I don't know about this color. I think flashing to white would be better. Of course, white is the hardest color to flash to, because you cannot do it with just modulate, unfortunately. But that's why we did it first, just to see that it could work. To go to white, you have to do a shader. And the reason for that is, if anyone is curious, is that modulate basically multiplies whatever the color of the pixel is against the color of the modulate, and white is just all ones. So white means don't change the color at all. So you can flash to black or to any darker color, but you cannot flash to a lighter color. But I have done that in other games. Actually, yeah, open a whole new Godot window here. In Monster Revolution, when you get hit, it flashes white. And so I made the little shader here. It's a super simple shader. It's like 4 lines, but we'll just steal it from my previous work. That would be Wizard and Orc as separate things. Oh, here we go. Whitening shader material. So this is the whole shader. Okay, more than 4 lines. 4 important lines. If you get rid of these, ones with the curlies on them. So let's see. Let's look at the shader real quick. So we have a uniform, which is just on or off. I was expecting it to be like a floating point value to say how close to white we were, to kind of have it, go towards white, which would be just adding a fixed value. Yeah, so maybe let's do that for the new one. Let's make a new shader, but instead of having it just flash white with this bool, let's animate to it. Hey, RWWKV6, thanks for joining. Whoa, my YouTube here is looking weird, but yeah, thanks for the kind words about the WebXR work I've been doing. I'm taking kind of a little bit of a slowdown on WebXR for the next 6 weeks to do this project, but I'm gonna keep working on it as time allows, and we'll definitely get back into it full swing after this project is done. All right. So I want to make a shader material that I think I want to put on the tank. Will that work? Will that shade the sprites, or do I have to put it on the individual sprites? I am not sure. Let's try it. So material, we will add a new shader material. And we have to add a new shader. That's a text shader as opposed to a visual shader. I'm going to start by copy pasting the shader from Monster Revolution, and we're going to change it. We're going to have a uniform that is a float. What's a good name for that? Amount, which will default to 0. Can you default to uniform? I guess I'll find out when it yells at me or not. And we're going to make the color equal to is there a quick way to do this? Because we don't want to mess with the alpha, or do I have to break all these components up? So many constructors. Vector, float, float. Let me get up the Godot doc so I can know what I'm doing here. Godot shader language. Vec4. I just want to see what all the different constructors on a Vec4 are. Because I want to be able to just add the color components, but not the alpha component, without having to separate those all up. Let's search for Vec4 shader. I might do this the unlazy way. Oh, here, I'll close these windows of the game. Just to get something going. Let's just get something going. So we want to add the texture color R plus the amount, the texture color green plus the amount, texture color blue plus the amount, and we want to keep the alpha value the same. We might want to make sure that those values don't go over 1. Going over 1 is actually valid. That is a thing. But we lose a bit of precision, and we're not doing anything with the values over 1. You can do bloom that way. You can go over 1 and have that cause bloom to spread to the neighboring pixels. Is there a max? Actually, we want min, I think. A min function. Yeah, okay. Min can take vec type. Does that mean any type? Okay. Let's try it, see what happens. So the minimum of this or 1. This or 1. This 1. And let's see what happens. So we have put that here. Where is our shader params? There we go. So here's our uniform value. Let's set it to 1. It should make everything white. It did not. All right. We tried it. It didn't work. Let's try applying this shader directly to the sprite. To do that, let's save the shader. Does it need to go in the tank folder? Oh, we'll keep it in the tank folder for now. We'll call it whitening shader. And let me apply it to this sprite. Tanks, whitening shader. Okay, there we go. Now it's totally white. And it kept the amount from before, which actually lets me know there's a problem here. We need to make sure that this resource is unique. Otherwise, every time we change this value, it'll change it for all the tanks in the game. And I forget exactly how to do that. Make unique? Will that make it unique for every tank, or just unique once for this scene? Let's try it. And I think that actually cleared that we were loading the shader from somewhere. Okay, so that's not what we wanted to do. We need to reset that back to the whitening shader. And let's save it. Also, let me remove it from here where we added it and it didn't work, so I don't forget about that. And back to the docks. How do I duplicate a material? I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll have it duplicate the material as soon as the scene loads, so that any changes we make to it afterwards will affect only this instance of it in our scene. So say Godot duplicating a material. I'm gonna make shader material instances. Ooh, this person's doing the exact same thing. He wants to make a simple shader to make his enemy sprites flash white. Okay, so get material, duplicate. Beautiful. This is the exact code we want. Let's get to our ready function. I'm sure we have one. Yep. And what is this doing? Oh, interesting. So that should duplicate the material. And let's decide how are we going to animate this. We can have a method that sets the amount. Where's a good place to do that? I'll put it right by take damage. So we'll say func set white amount. And we are going to get our material. And what does it be, like shader param or something like that? We have to get the shader out of here. Back to the Godot docs. Say material. Okay, I guess we're probably looking, shader material, get shader param, set shader param. How come we didn't see that though? In the autocomplete. Okay, wait, no, I can just access material. And set shader param. Why isn't it autocompleting? Material, get material, it's material. Maybe because it's the parent class and it doesn't know what child class it is? We'll just try calling set shader material. See what happens. That's always the fastest way to go. Try it and see if it breaks. And I forget if we have to do a special path to set this. We'll go over here and find where that amount is and hover over it. Shader param / amount. I'll just try amount, see if that does it. Oops. And let's animate that. We'll go back to our animation player and we'll add a new track. It will be call a method track. To call our set white amount method. Yeah, we'll start with an amount of 0, then duplicate this key. Can I duplicate the key? Yes, yes I can. There. We'll set the arg to 1. And this next keyframe, let's duplicate again. Where did it go? Did not want to duplicate that time. There we go. Duplicate. And set it back to 0. And that should, let's get rid of this modulate. Should, oh, because our script isn't a tool script, so we won't see it in the editor. I could temporarily make this be a tool script, which might crash the editor when we try it, but I'm not sure. Tool script, here, play. Didn't do anything. All right, well, it's possible that our method isn't working. So the first thing we'll do is we'll set white amount to 1 when the game loads, and we will see if our tank is white. Our tank is not white, so our method is not working. See if we're getting any errors. Oh, port not listing on port. That's because I have all these other, negative 26 minutes. I have all these other Godot editors running. Let's close those all out. And hopefully that will mean we can debug now. We can debug now. Debugger, do we get any errors? Nothing that seems important. All right. I wonder, is it possible to like directly animate the shader param? Do we need to have that method in the middle? If I open up the animation player, I can animate the amount. Okay, let's get rid of this function track here. Let's animate the amount directly. Material shader param amount. Let's try it. So it starts out at 0. We'll go here. Set it to 1. Ooh, and because I made it a tool script, it's actually appearing. Or no, not because I made it a tool script. That has nothing to do with the script. It's just because we're manipulating in the editor. Go here, set the amount back to 0. Let's see how this works. Yeah, there we go. And it goes progressively because we're adding to the color rather than just making it be the solid color. So we can delete all these tracks. Little trash can guy. And I guess I can get rid of that method I was writing. I'm not sure why that wasn't working, but this seems easier anyhow. And let's give this game a try. Okay, so I just have this one open, battle, match, open up another client. Thank you for the enthusiasm, Elliot. I don't know what you're saying is so cool, but I'm happy that something is so awesome. All right, something crashed. What crashed? Get material, set material. Okay. Attempt to call duplicate on null instance method. The material should exist at this point. Why? Let's not be ready. Add child. Okay, so we instance the scene. We add the child. Oh, the shader was awesome. Thanks, man. That's about the level of my shader ability. So we create the player. Wait, why are we saying, oh, players node, add other player. So this is when onReady would be called, when we're adding the other player. The shader should exist at this point. Okay, well, let's just comment this out for a second. And let's just make sure that it works in-game, even though I'm pretty sure both tanks are going to flash. It's still showing our old effect. Did I forget to save? Was it something that silly? Oh, I have 2 animation players? Why do I have 2 animation? Oh, I bet when I was hitting Control D when I was trying to duplicate those keyframes, I accidentally duplicated the animation player. All right, so this animation player is still around. I'm gonna trash that. And this animation player has the animation we want. Rename that. All right, take 2. Second tries a charm. Yep. The effect looks good, though. I like the way it looks. So a couple of things we need to fix. The turret needs to flash also, and we need to make it so both tanks aren't flashing at the same time, which should have been handled by that line we added. Let's see if on this one anyone had any problems with it. Oh, we're doing it on the tank, and we need to do it on the sprite. So we made the exact same mistake as this person who commented here that we did it on the wrong node. Thank you, Godot Q&A. So let's see. We need to duplicate the material on the sprite. I wrote this so long ago that like my coding style is different now, and it's really frustrating because if like all throughout the code I'm doing these $ node references, whereas if I were to write this today, I would have made like an onReady var turret or turret pivot or whatever that was. Was it turret pivot? Turret pivot. Yeah, so I guess I would have done turret pivot. So at some point, maybe not on stream, I'm gonna go through all this code and change it to the coding style that I use now. But we need to grab the sprite, which I guess, yeah, we'll start on some new good habits here and say body sprite, ready var. We'll get the turret sprite. And we need to do the material duplication thing. So we go body sprite material equals body. Oh, interestingly, we only need to duplicate it once. I was thinking we were gonna duplicate the material for both, and then animate it on both the body and the turret. But we can take advantage of the fact that like shaders are global and just duplicate it once and assign it to both. So here we'll do var sprite material equals body material, or body sprite material, duplicate, and then on body sprite material equals sprite material, and turret sprite material equals sprite material. And then we don't even need to assign the material to the sprite in the editor because we'll do it right here. Programmation General wants WebAR, please. So I did do a little bit of work on AR a couple weeks ago. There was a community member whose name I can't remember right now. It's been a little while since I've chatted with him. But the turret should fall off. That'd actually be really cool if the turret fell off. Anyway, I'm going to try and stay on one train of thought here. So AR, right after I did my presentation for, or I should talk to here because here's the camera. Right after I did my presentation for GodotCon, in the presentation, of course, I said like AR doesn't work at all. And then like the next day, there was a community member reporting bugs, reporting issues in trying to use AR with the WebXR support that I just added. And of course it didn't work, like it totally crashed. And I just kind of like worked with him fixing the bugs that he found such that now AR kind of works. It doesn't crash, and the tracking works. So you can place an object in the world, go into immersive AR mode, and the object will stay in relative space where you told it to be, and you can move around and look at the object closer or whatever. There's still a lot of stuff that needs to be done, though. There isn't any way to get the geometry of the world, which I think is probably the biggest thing to make AR actually useful, because you don't want to just say like, well, this object is 1 meter from wherever you start the app. You want to be able to say like, well, okay, I see a floor, I see tables, I want to place the object on them and also do collisions with them and stuff too. So that is what still really, really needs to be done. There's some challenges there though. The specs in WebXR around AR are much less stabilized and less developed and less supported than the VR ones. So like, I think only Chrome supports doing this hit testing thing where you can like cast a ray out into the real world and say, does my ray hit a real world surface? And I don't know that any other browser supports that other than Chrome. And also that hit testing is not very useful, or it's not as useful as a method to just say like, hey, AR unit. I guess in the case of a phone, it's just like a library that's doing like AI to figure out where the surfaces are, saying, hey, AI library, like give me all of the meshes you see in the world. And then we can take all of those meshes and create collision objects in Godot and then just use normal Godot collision on them. Like that would be amazing. And that's what you do when you're doing not web AR, when you're doing normal AR. But there isn't, there is like a proposal to add an API like that to WebXR, but no one has implemented it. And it's kind of controversial and maybe it won't even be accepted. So there's a lot of things to do. I'm thinking that hit testing API that is in Chrome that I was talking about earlier, I think I am going to add that to Godot's WebXR support in kind of like an experimental like fork of the upstream stuff that's going on, so that we can use it and play with it and test it. But I don't know at what point we would actually merge that into like Godot core, because we don't want to merge anything into Godot core that is like probably going to change because this is like super draft to all of these AR APIs, or maybe get discarded completely, or is only supported on one browser, and maybe like the next browser that adds some kind of AR hit testing or real world geometry stuff will do it in a totally different way, and we just don't want to put code that's going to rot in Godot core. So anyway, that was a long tangent about web AR, but it's coming. It's going to be available to Godot users in some form, even if that's like downloading special export templates to just use in your app rather than taking the official export templates. It'll be available in some form for people to play with in a matter of weeks or months, probably. Anyway, Retro Tank Party. We are just making these materials duplicate, and I think that will fix both of our issues with the turret and with both tanks flashing. So let's try it. There we go. Whole thing's flashing. I wonder if maybe it should be faster, but I like it. I like going to white. White seems like the right direction to go. Maybe I'll just experiment really quick with making that a tiny bit speedier. Maybe take off 100 milliseconds and see how that looks. So right now it is just 0.2, so I guess I'd be going to 0.1. Adjust the snap, 0.5. And, ooh, that is really fast. I can't tell in the editor, though, if that'll look nice or not. Let's just quick try it. I'm up both in the same frame here. Oh, I think that's better. I think going down 100 milliseconds was the right choice here. Okay, we got a flash. It's flashing. Let's commit that to Git. What do we got? We got our shader. We got these changes to, oh, just checking the diff really quick before I commit this. And to look for things that I don't actually want to get committed, and I found one. I do not want this to be a tool script for real. That was just to try and solve that animation issue earlier. So let's look at the diff now. Yeah, the rest of this looks good. Have to make sure to add that shader. We'll just commit everything in tanks. Elliot says, it's so perfect. Now it needs to read my name in reverse. We were just reading the rewards for a video game Kickstarter, where one of the rewards was you would get your name read in reverse as a sound effect, which, you know, this game needs sound effects. I'm going to have to get them from somewhere. We can see what Elliot in reverse sounds like and throw it in there for something. Maybe every time you drive into a tree. All right, make flash white when tank is hit. Push that up. So in a minute or two, the change we just made will actually deploy to that bit.ly link that you see over that way. Am I pointing in the right direction? I hope so. The bit.ly /RTP devel. I know there's a couple more people watching now. Does anyone want to get into a battle? Here, I'll just. I don't know if I waited long enough for the build to go. Actually, let me just double check that so we can actually do this with the flashing, which I think would be nice to see how that feels in a real combat situation. Oh, build hasn't finished yet, so we gotta wait. We gotta wait a moment. Recording saying pew pew. Yeah, I mean, this is a silly game. It's a silly party game. We maybe pew pew is the right way to go. And actually, if I get to adding modding support, which I don't know if we'll be able to get to that, then maybe we could have just different people throwing in their own sound effects and their own little mods. So what we're watching here is GitLab CI doing the builds automatically. If you've checked out my Godot and Git tutorial, or my Godot and GitLab CI tutorial, specifically the GitLab CI one, you can set up GitLab so when you push a commit, it runs a bunch of automated things for you. And I have it set up to do the Linux, macOS, web, Windows build, and then it pushes the web build to that URL. So then, you know, I don't have to do anything special, and anyone can go grab the latest build and we can test it out and play it. The question, what is the backend written in? So the backend is Nakama. It is an open source game server from Heroic Labs. And that's what we're using for the authentication and for the different clients to find each other. And then it uses WebRTC for the actual clients to communicate, because Godot supports WebRTC as one of its backends for the high-level networking API. I am planning this week or next week to write a tutorial about how to do exactly that, like in your own game, because I've sort of separated out the Nakama WebRTC stuff into its own little chunk, and I'm going to make that into an asset on the Godot. I should look this way. I'm so used to my camera being here. I'm going to make an asset for the Godot asset store and put it up there, and then write a tutorial for other folks who might want to make a similar kind of game. All right, so refresh here. Come on. Okay, this is taking longer than usual. Usually it just takes like a minute or two to go, but now we're on to the last part. It's deploying the HTML5 build, and then we can all jump into that bit.ly link. If you've already opened it, you're going to have to reload it once this is done. Otherwise, you'll be using an older version and it won't let you connect. it does a thing where it makes sure that all of the clients are on the same git commit. All right, so deployed. Do I have it open? All right, let me refresh this. And I will make a private match. And if anyone wants to go to that link, get back to the right Discord. Why am I on all these different Discords? New private match. Put that there. I'll throw it on YouTube chat also. So, if anyone wants to get in and battle and see what it feels like with the white flash, load up that URL, go to battle, join a private match, put in this same ID that I copy and pasted, and let's battle. Let's do this. If you have a couple of different browsers to choose from, Chrome generally works the best. I'm doing this in Firefox because I've been having some issues with Chrome and the NVIDIA Linux drivers. Yeah. Anyone? Definitely let me know if you're having problems too. This game is not without bugs. There are bugs. So if you're trying to get in and you can't get in, just let me know. Ooh, Elliot's back in. Any other takers? Oh, I'm also willing to bet that a lot of you have never played this game before and probably have to make an account. Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything weird with your email address. I don't even ever look in there. This just goes to Nakama and sits there for login purposes to this game. You can even put a fake email address. It's literally used for nothing. I'm going to add soon the ability to reset your password via email. So it'd be a thing where you say I forgot my password, and it emails you a link, and then you visit the link, and then you reset your password. But that's all. That's all it's going to be used for. So you could put a fake email in there, and that's fine. Do something at example.com to make your user account. Anyone? And while we're waiting, I can talk about another multiplayer game that I made with Nakama. I actually did it as a contract job for Heroic Labs. So it is on their GitHub. Fish game. Similar in that it's a 2 to 4 player kind of everyone goes and tries to kill each other kind of thing. But you are fish that fight with swords and guns, and it's a platformer as opposed to a top-down kind of thing. It's pretty fun. Very soon they're going to publicly announce it, and I wrote a tutorial to go along with it, explaining how to use Nakama and a little bit about how the networking was done in this game. It was because they had hired me to do it as a contract job. It mostly focuses on how to use Nakama, not the networking side of things. Ooh, somebody else is in. Somebody else is in. All right, let's do this. Let me make it full screen. All right. Where are you? Oh, there you are, RWWKV6. Need to get me a power up. What I got? Targeted bullets. You're going down. The flashing is nice. The flashing is nice. I definitely feel the hits a little bit more than just sort of shooting and being like, was that explosion close enough to the other person to hit them or not? Ooh, I'm coming at you guys with the spread. Are we the only 2 people left alive, Elliot? Oh, you need that health. Why aren't... My poor driving just got me stuck on that box. If you guys want to do one more, let's do one more. Then we can go back to developing and see what else we can add. Maybe we can try screen shake. Unless you guys aren't interested. All right. Let's do a little bit more development. Certainly, if anyone joins in the meantime and wants to give the game a try with a couple of people, just ping in the chat somewhere. So, screen shake. I have actually never done screen shake. I know how it's done in principle, but I kind of hate screen shake. Or maybe that means I love screen shake. Anyway, so for me personally, screen shake is so jarring. Like it feels like I'm just like being hit. And I also get like nauseous from playing first-person shooter games. So like I have whatever that. Oh, it disconnected you, Elliot? Interesting. It might have disconnected you when I disconnected, and just with the time delay, it looks weird. Hey, yeah, thanks for coming, RWWKV6. It was awesome chatting and battling. So screen shake. I have never implemented it because it really affects me, but like that's kind of the point, right? Screen shake is to make the person who's playing it feel like they're being hit when their character gets hit. So let's implement it. In principle, what we want to do is we want to, where's the game camera? Watch camera? Where's the normal camera? Oh, is the normal camera on the player? Okay, well, we have to find the camera. Is the camera created dynamically? That's probably what it is. It's probably created dynamically when the match starts. Oh yeah, you got disconnected right away. That didn't happen in our earlier playtest, but yeah, there's lots of bugs just waiting for us to find. I'm just not seeing the camera. Okay, here we go. Add child, create camera. So it creates the camera down here, which is just a normal camera 2D. So what we want to do, I think, is create a new scene that is the camera and attach a script to it. And we'll use that script to animate the screen shake, which in principle, let's just start on that, and then I can point at the properties. We want to add a scene that is a camera 2D. And yeah, so we'll just rename this to be camera because that'll be a nice name for the scene when we save it. We'll save it just at the top level. This project is so disorganized. Like these should have much more folders and nesting. Oh, Elliot is saying he thinks it actually did kick him off in the last test. Okay, well, definitely something to look into. So let's save this camera scene. And what we're going to be doing is messing with the offset. So the camera has another property called offset. The heck? What is this? Offset H? Oh, so this is something to do with the drag margins. Ignore this offset. That is not the offset we are looking for. This offset is the one we're looking for. So the camera animates by changing its position, or animates. The camera moves by changing its position. And we want the position to always follow the player. But for screen shake, we want to keep the position the same, but mess with its offset to just make it kind of move around. So I'm going to do what I always do when there is something I have never done in Godot before, and I'm going to Google it. And we will learn together a good way to implement screen shake. Kids Can Code has great tutorials, great recipes. So let's go check that out. Trauma, that's quite a heading. Oh, wow. I need to watch this this video. Screen shake in VR, a GDC presentation. I would hate screen shake in VR. That would destroy me. I also get VR sickness really bad, but I love VR. I've got my my Quest hanging out here. Oh, if you guys watch my videos, you know I love VR. That's not even a question. Trauma. Okay, we'll start by implementing a camera, make a new scene with camera 2D node. We did that. Shake camera. We'll just call it camera. We only have one kind. I guess we have the watch camera, but whatever. Okay, so he's adding a decay variable. Max offset. Max roll. Do screen shakes really roll? I guess I didn't even know that. I was just thinking we'd be moving, you know, on the X and Y, not rotating. Target the camera will follow. So, okay. He's doing a thing where he's implementing his own code to follow a target. We're not doing that. We're just making the camera be a child of the tank. So current screen shake. Okay, the trauma power is the relationship between trauma and the actual movement of the camera. So the amount equals trauma squared. Okay, so this is sort of saying how the trauma power is trying to say, like, how strong is the screen shake? Yeah, add the target variable. We're not doing that. I don't know why he's doing that actually that way, because there's two ways to make cameras follow something in Godot. They're kind of built in. Of course, you can do whatever you want. You can make your own script to move the camera around. But the two ways are making the camera be a child of the node you want it to follow, and there is this remote transform node where you can say, like, without having to create the parent-child relationship, you want to have one node follow the transform of another node. So that's the way I would have done it. I wonder if he needs to take that into account in the math somewhere. Okay, so starting it, he's seeding the random number generator. There's a function add trauma. So this adds a certain amount of shake. Okay, so add trauma function is what we call to start or increase shaking. That makes sense. So shake isn't a Boolean on or off thing. Every time the tank gets hit, we add a little bit more trauma to the camera, and then it decays. So if we get a hit, it decays half the way and get another hit. That's different than a hit, decay all the way, and then a hit again. So yeah, we don't need this part, but this part, trauma. So if trauma equals the max of the trauma minus the decay times the delta and 0. So okay, that the max here is just to make sure it doesn't go below 0. And then shake is the function that actually does this. Oh man, that is some serious screen shake right there. Holy cow. Look at that. Oof. I'm feeling it already. I don't know how I feel about the roll. Is that normal for there to be roll in a screen shake? I might try turning that on and off in our implementation. Okay, so let's get to our copy pasting here. We are not going to take all of this. Let's go create our camera script. Read all this junk. Export. Where those all floats. I'll just copy paste them. I'm used to having two screens, so I can like look at the docs on one side and code on the other side, but I'm using one of my screens to like follow chat right now and look other stuff up that I don't want to be on the stream. So let's just copy paste these and then change them. So I don't want all those comments and all that other junk in there. Okay, so export var decay max. It's interesting too that he sets a different maximum for X and Y. I don't know if that's just because the screen is non-square and it would look weird if we were shaking equally in all directions on a non-square screen. I don't know. Also a thing that might be worth trying to modify and see how it feels. So so Elliot asks, is cam shake going to impact everyone or just me when I get hit? It's going to just you. When your tank gets hit, there's going to be a screen shake, so that you feel different between you getting hit and the other people getting hit. And it's actually great that we can do this in a multiplayer or a network multiplayer game. Because if this were a couch co-op game where everyone is sitting together and looking at the same screen, we wouldn't be able to do screen shake because the screen would shake every time every single person got hit and it would just lose its magic and be like, why is everything always bouncing? So I think this is hopefully going to be a good use of screen shake. So let me bounce back over here. Yeah, I don't want to randomize every time a script starts. Let me go to the main script and make sure we are randomizing in our main script. We'll just add that to the bottom here. Randomize. Elliot says, so he will lose even faster. Yeah, I am not very good at video games either. I play a lot of video games, and of course I make video games, but I'm pretty terrible at them. So let's go back to our tank script. No, not our tank script, our camera script. And we'll be able to add our trauma, fix the indents here. So trauma equals min trauma plus amount. So that's to prevent us from going over 1. Is that right? Smaller amount between, yeah, so that's to prevent us from going over 1. And then the process function. Get rid of this target junk because we don't need it. We are following the target in our own way. Did that work or do I have to still, yeah. They're using tabs, or I mean, they're using spaces in their code and we need tabs. Okay, so then we have to add this shake method. So amount is the power of trauma and trauma power. Roll, which, does roll get reset somehow? I guess amount will eventually go to 0. So then rotation will go to 0. I don't know. I just have this fear with roll. Like, what if the roll gets stuck like slightly? It doesn't get fully cleared. We might have to do like a else rotation equals 0. I don't know. I don't know if we need that. We'll try it without it first. And that should be it. That should be enough for this scene. Then we just need to make sure that when we are creating the camera, which I think was in the game scene, we need to take our new camera scene rather than the built-in camera. So we will load that scene at the top of here. The rest of our preloads. Say camera. Oh, naming it camera probably wasn't the greatest idea because that is the name of the built-in one. So maybe we will copy what Kids Can Code did and call this camera shake camera. What is the least disruptive way to rename this? Shake camera. And then we'll open it. Yeah. I'm just trying to do this in the right order that Godot will like update all the references for me rather than me changing these names and then having things break. And I think that's right. So now if I go here, we'll go to shake camera. And I'm going to rename the top level node here to also shake camera. Okay. So go back to the tank, or not the tank, the game, because the camera is created dynamically and then placed on the tank. Say var shake camera equals preload. And we can just grab the scene file. And now we need to instantiate that instead of the built-in camera 2D. Shake camera instance. And we need to add some trauma somewhere. Okay, so we did the tank. So does the tank know that it has the camera? Like, what is it called? The tank is going to need to be able to refer to the camera, which should be easy because it's a child of the tank. But it's going to get a random name unless we name it. So camera name equals camera. And then in the tank script, when we take damage, we will flash, and we will also do if has node camera get node camera add trauma. And I forget like the units we're even thinking in, like what amount of trauma makes sense, like what is the example use? Whoa, this goes into using like noise. Wow, okay, this tutorial gets real cool real fast. I still don't know how I feel about the roll, but anyway, let's see. Like how much amount are you adding here, guy? Okay, we'll add 10. Just 10. See what that does. Add trauma 10. I don't even remember. I mean, it has to be a floating point value, right? Let's go look. Come on. Oh, because it doesn't know what script that is, so it can't automatically go there. Didn't I save it? Okay, I did save it now. Amount, it doesn't even say. But this trauma's a floating point value, so it would have to be, I think. And I mean, that doesn't need to be an int either. That could be a float. You can do something to the power of a decimal number. I'm just going to go declare all my types here. It makes me feel better. So then this would be a float. And delta is always a float. Okay. Did we add 10? Did I actually do that? I did. Okay. Let's go see what happens. I really need to make like a test map so I don't have to drive all the way over just to see. Whoa! Too much! Oh my god! 10 was way too big of a number. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That's out of control. Oh my god. I hate it / love it already. Was I seeing that right? That like so the turret sort of shakes because it's affecting the mouse position. Because the camera moving changes the mouse position, so the turret shakes. That is crazy. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. We're gonna need to bring barf bags to this game. Oh my god. Oh, I see Elliot's still hanging out. We gotta try this, Elliot. We gotta try this with this insane screen shake. Let me quit this to Git. Wow. And screen shake, perhaps a little too much. Oh my god. Let's see, where did I have GitLab CI open? You know, I think I know why this is taking so long on GitLab CI. I think I switched to using only the GitLab CI builder that I have for my other work, for my web work, rather than using the public builders, which when you're using the public builders, it can build like on a bunch of different builders at once, as opposed to using my one single builder. So I'm going to switch that back, because I think the reason I made that change was because I ran out of free build minutes on the public builders. And I have been on this for a while now, so I think I can switch to the public, or runners, the public runners. Yep, I'm using the dedicated work one. So enable shared runners, and there are 15 available. So I think with this change, the next build after this build, which unfortunately has already started, GitLab CI will build our game quicker, build and deploy our game quicker. Yeah, I don't know. I would say like in the meantime we could play Fish Game, but there's no web build for that. You have to like download it, and making people go download a thing like while we're waiting for them is probably not a good idea. But yeah, Fish Game is a lot of fun too. A lot of wackiness. I can't wait for the tutorial to come out so I can send it to everyone, and also do some follow-up tutorials, because like I said, the tutorial I did for Fish Game is very focused on getting connected to Nakama and Nakama authentication and all of these different things, which are important if you're building a game that uses Nakama as your backend server, but doesn't dig into like how we synced the clients, because there's some interesting stuff there. There's like network prediction. It's only sending updates from the different players at 20 frames a second, I think, 20 frames a second. But the game is running at, of course, 60 frames a second. So in those in-between frames, the individual clients are doing prediction on what it thinks the other player's inputs are, so it can simulate it locally. And it makes for a pretty smooth experience, especially considering that that game doesn't use WebRTC. It sends all of the traffic through Nakama, which is over WebSockets, which is TCP, which can be fast. I mean, in this case, it seems fast enough, but yeah, is not what I would have chosen. I like doing UDP or WebRTC. All right, here we go. It has deployed. Let's break our brains. I guess did I close it? I guess I'll open that link again. Anyone who wants to join in as well, we're going to go to bit.ly, the URL on the bottom of the screen, rtp-devel, and get in a match here. I will paste the match ID in both Discord and to YouTube, and wait a minute or two. Elliot says that much shake plus crazy sound effects equals the stuff of nightmares. I agree, man. I'm excited to see how disturbing this is. There we go. Oh, Elliot was in and then Elliot left. Was that a crash or? See if he gets back in. You know, I wonder too, because the game is peer-to-peer, you know, other than authenticating and helping everyone find each other via Nakama, I wonder if the fact that I'm streaming and recording and doing all of these things, and I'm one of the peers, right? Like if that's having an adverse effect on the game. Elliot says it kicked you out. Did it give a message? I'd be curious to know what the message was when it kicked you out, so then I can know what it thinks is happening. Ooh! Oh. Someone joined and then got kicked! What is happening? Who was EHVMJGYJPM? Guess this is what we get for trying to do real-time development. Crashed again and listed a weird username. So it crashed, like it actually literally crashed. And I guess at what point? Was it like after you put in the match ID and then it crashed? I wonder. All right, Godot pro tip here. I might have done something that caused a fatal crash in the code we just wrote, but the fatal crash was not happening when we were testing it because we are running in debug mode. So let me see if I can get. Do I still have this running? Or did I actually close it? I totally closed it. Okay, well I'm gonna open this up and just leave it running in case anyone else wants to try and get in while I'm messing with this. I'll get the new match ID. And then we will try it locally and see if we're getting any errors in the debugger to see if that is causing a problem. The Chrome window crashed. That's crazy. We caused a crash in HTML5. It's too much screen shake. There's too much screen shake, man. No, I don't want to do that. I'll just matchmake on my local one. And we'll do Godot. Okay, so we connected and everything. Everything seems good. Let's go look in the debugger. Did it give me any errors that would be fatal? No. Why is this coming up though? Interesting. Okay, let's try this the other way around. Or no, I don't know what the way around is. So I know this one is the host because it's blue. Oh, let's try a private match. See if there's a difference with private matches somehow. Start this one up. Battle. Create a private match. Paste. Join. Okay, so this one is still the host. Let's see if there's any errors. That's crazy. What could we have done? What could we have done that that caused this problem? Elliot, I don't know how busy you are right now, but could you try like a not web build? I can give you the link to grab it from GitLab CI. We go to pipelines. So it would be grabbing one of these builds from the add screen shake commit that we did here. I'll post this in all of the different chats. A lot of tabs open. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be something on your end that's being weird. It's interesting though that we played this game a couple of times together today, and it didn't have problems, and now it is. So could be on either end here. And yeah, you should be able to just use this same match ID, although I could try it in not a web build too. But let's change one variable at a time. You try the macOS build, and I'll stick with the web build. If this spoils our ability to get sick from that screen shake today, I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm gonna be very disappointed. Yeah, so what else did I have on my list for Visual Juice? Particles, tank tracks. I don't know how I feel about tank tracks. I really do want to do particles. I love particles. I'm thinking we could do particles, and I don't know if I'll get this detailed. Like I'll start with just doing some brown particles, but I think it would be cool to do, like if you're riding on the grass, you get green particles. So the idea is the tank treads are throwing up bits of grass, and when you get on the dirt part, it throws up dirt, and when you're on the street part, it throws up, I guess, bits of concrete or something, to make the particle color match the terrain color. And I don't know exactly how we would do that without hard coding it. Like just saying if you're on this tile, like, well, okay, now your particles are green. If you're on this tile, now your particles are gray or whatever. There probably is some way to like dynamically look at, you know, did I even use dirt in this? I know there's dirt in the tile set. So I guess we'd just be doing green and gray. Hello, hello, Salary Cat. How's it going? We are working on Retro Tank Party, trying to get some play testing going. Unable to join match? Man, what is going on? Here, whoa. Okay, no, I did reload. That was on purpose. That was on purpose. Let me create a new private match ID. Maybe I just sat there too long. If this doesn't work, I'm going to download the Linux build and do that. And if that doesn't work, I'm going back to the drawing board. But anyone who's interested in trying to playtest this, we may have broken it in the last set of changes that we did. You can go to the bit.ly URL that's somewhere on the bottom of the screen and use this private match ID, and we can play against each other. To get ready in advance for this not working, I'm going to download the Linux build. Yeah, you're welcome, Salary Cat. I'm glad that that folks like those Git videos. I had so much fun making them, and it's like so much of tutorials out there about doing game development stuff, like you know, AI, animation, all that. Not a lot on the kind of process workflow things. And yeah, I'm so glad you found that useful. So was Elliot able to get in there? No, not yet, it looks like. Start up the Linux build. Okay. Login failed. What is going on? So I'm able to connect here, and it must be up, although it's a little weird that this is saying login failed. Oh, this probably has my email and password saved from when I was doing fish game? Okay, so that's why that one failed. I don't think anyone's in the matchmaking queue programmation general. Actually, although that might be an interesting thing to try if we try the matchmaking queue. Let me try one more private match link with the Linux build, and we'll see what happens here. So this is now, I'm doing the Linux build. Elliot's trying the macOS build. I don't know what others are doing, but let's see if we can get in here. I want to see what that screen shake feels like. Wow, so Elliot still can't get in. Let me try. So, let me try connecting myself in 2 different windows to the live server. Okay, that is very weird that failed again. What is going on? So I'm able to connect to myself. Is anybody else trying to use this ID? It'd be interesting to know. It'd be interesting to know if that's just Elliot or we did actually break something by adding that screen shake. I don't know what it could be though, because I'm not getting any errors. And fundamentally, like, all peers should be equal. Yeah, I don't know if Chrome being weird would be related to doing the desktop client. I mean, unless something happened with your network, like in the meantime, I could see that breaking both things. But I might just have to go back to implementing without being able to play test as we go, which would be a shame. I loved the idea of being able to like hack on something on stream and then like we all go test it on stream and see what it actually feels like. So if anyone else is trying to get on this ID and it's failing, like please let me know in chat, because yeah, actually, yeah, let's do that. Okay, yeah, so that's the next thing we're trying. You create a match, put the ID in, and if that doesn't work, I can try we can try matchmaking. All right, let me get in there and do Elliot's I'll move this up here so I will try Elliot's match ID here. We are in. All right. Let's do this. I would love for more people to get in, but like I'm just happy that we're in. I'm scared. I'm scared to get hit. Where are you, Elliot? Actually, don't answer that question. Don't want to tell your enemies where you are. Oh my god. Oh my god. I cannot. Oh, not spread? How much is that? Okay, I want to get hit by spread. I want to see what that's like. That's like 4 bullets at once. Shoot me. Shoot me. Hit me. Come on. Do it. Do it. Come on, shoot me. Shoot me. I can see your turret wobble. Come on, dude. Shoot me with the spread. Can you shoot me with the spread, man? I want to see the crazy screen shake when I get hit with 3 bullets at once. Why don't you shoot me? Oh my god. Oh. Okay, so I saw that Salary Cat wants to get in. So Elliot, create a new private match, and then put the ID in, and then Salary Cat, what you got to do is you got to go to the bit.ly URL that's in the bottom of the screen and log in through there, and then do join match with the private ID that Elliot's gonna make, so that we can all connect to each other. And then after we're done laughing at how insane that screen shake is, we can go back to hacking and actually reduce the screen shake so it's a reasonably a reasonable effect. Oh, sweet. Here we go. Elliot's pasted his match ID. Join it. See if Salary Cat can get in. Yeah, let me know if there's any problems getting in. Because you know, this is underdeveloped game. Underdeveloped? It's a game that is under development, and so there certainly are bugs and issues, and I want to know about them so we can try and fix them. That was crazy too, like with the spread, like it only takes so many hits to get hit with to die from getting hit with spread. But when the screen is shaking, like I just like froze up, like what do I do? What do I do? I mean, yeah, that felt a lot more like it would feel like to get shot in a tank. Of course, you know, better than really getting shot in a tank, 'cause that would be terrifying. But like definitely like more immersive to have that screen shake. Yeah, Salary Cat, you got to create an account. You can put in whatever email you want. It's not used for anything except eventually it'll be used to help reset your password if you lose it. But it's like go to battle and battle, and then on the screen where it has like match, make, create, and join, you paste it into the join area and then connect. I wonder if I should be responding to things like that in the chat rather than to the stream because of the delay. I'm new to streaming, if anyone hasn't noticed. Oh, sweet, Salary Cat is in there. It's saying connecting for a very long time though, which is usually a sign that WebRTC is having trouble. Because this is a peer-to-peer game, so we have to all make separate peer connections to each other. Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Yeah, so if UC connected for all of us, that means for whatever reason, WebRTC was able to connect from you to us, but our clients are unable to connect to you, which could be the result of like a weird firewall being between you and us. That's one of the disadvantages of WebRTC, is that you can make some of the connections, but maybe not all of them. Host is disconnected. Yeah, Elliot, we can just try one more time, create a new match, try it one more time, and see if we're all able to get connected. And if that doesn't work, then it's probably the WebRTC thing. There is a way to fix the when one person has some bizarre firewall situation, and that is to add a special server called a turn server, which will relay the messages through the turn server, so it doesn't have to do like network hole punching to get through whatever firewalls are in the way, or NAT hole punching, network hole punching. So anyway, Salary Cat, give it another try. Let's see if we can connect this time, and if we can't, we can't. And that means that I have some work to do on the WebRTC and possibly setting up a turn server, which is something I've debated doing for like the whole time I've been working on this project. Before I was aiming for a Steam release, it was like, well, it's just a hobby game jam thing. Of course, I don't want to set up a turn server, but if I'm going to be, publishing to Steam and different people are going to have different weird internet situations, I should, put up a turn server so that there isn't the situation that someone gets the game and can't play because they have a weird router, Yeah. Connecting. Yeah, I think I need to set up that turn server. That is a shame. I guess this is a good time to learn this thing on my first stream rather than after release. How critical is it that that turn server exists? Okay. Yeah, thanks for trying, Celery Cat. For the next stream, which I'm thinking I'm going to do next Friday, I will between now and then figure out the turn server situation, and if you come by next week, we can try it again and see if that actually resolves the situation, between our network and your network. And yeah, that would be great to know, because like network games have this interesting problem to solve that like you don't know what's actually going to happen in the real world. I can build this and try it on my own machine forever. I can get Elliot to try it, who I know only lives, like a short ways away from me. He's in a different city, but not very far. And we both have, very similar kind of network. I think we use the same internet provider. But then once you get out into the real world and you have to deal with different distances and different routers and different networks and like where is the traffic passing through and stuff, you learn things that you wouldn't otherwise learn. So thank you so much for trying. I think the next step here for the stream is to make the screen shake be a little bit less. I know, Elliot, you say it's perfect, but that was seriously disruptive. So I'm thinking experimenting with some of the amounts, just tweaking the amounts a little bit and seeing how they feel. And then later in this tutorial we were looking at, they're doing stuff with simplex noise instead of pure random values. And I think that could be good, because I'm thinking, I guess I haven't really read this, but I'm thinking is that will make for a smoother kind of movement as you're going to go kind of over like a noise curve rather than just randomly picking a value between -1 and 1. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's saying. Open simplex noise works by generating a 3D cloud of points. Each point has a value ranging from -1 to 1. Here's some 2 examples. While noisy, if you pick a particular pixel, adjacent pixels may vary unpredictably, but you won't suddenly swing wildly from one extreme to the other. So, yeah, let's try messing around with. Yeah, so first, for sure, Elliot, I'm just going to try cutting it in half and see what that looks like. I'm going to try taking away the roll and seeing what that looks like. And then I want to try this too. So let's start from the beginning here. So that was all in our camera script. Oh, actually, yeah, let's start by just saying the trauma is in half before we start messing with the power or any of those other values. So we went from 10 to 5. Let's see what that feels like. And of course, I'm switching from the live server to my development server. So we'll do a match. I don't want to do the production build. I want to do my debug local here. All right. So let's see what a trauma of 5 feels like. Oh, jeez. That's still insane. That's crazy. Jeez, okay. That's too much. Let's see if we can get the live reloading to work here. I'm going to try changing this to, let's say, 2. Or 1 might actually be good, but let's try 2 first. And we'll see when this character gets hit. The live reloading might not have worked there. Yeah, I'll start over. Oop. I just closed my terminal window. Okay, let's close this one. Let's see, what do I have to do? Deploy with remote debug. Small deploy with network FS. Do we need to do that, or is that just an Android thing? Well, let's go all the way down. Let's just go to 1, and we'll start completely over. Just make sure that there is a effect. Geez, that seems still exactly the same. Or, yeah. Maybe the amount isn't what we're seeing. Maybe just the dramaticness of it is what we're seeing. I'm gonna look at the math for this. So shake camera, trauma is 0. We add amount to it. Oh, here's the key. Amount is meant to be a value between 0 and 1, because we're doing a thing where it's forcing it to be 1 if it goes over 1. Okay, this is why I wish the tutorial had given some example trauma amounts. Okay, let's go to tank. Let's go 0.1, and I guess I have to restart this one also. Match. Oh, I am player 2 this time around. Okay. I don't even see it. What? Oh, I should have left it running to see if the live reload is working. Okay, that's some screen shake there. That seems like a much more human amount. Do we still get that wobble? A little bit, like the turret wobble. That might actually be good. I mean, still want to experiment a little bit with like the noise and the roll and stuff. But that feels like it could be an appropriate amount. It's jarring, I guess I'd have to see what it's like in real combat to see if it's too jarring to keep playing. Because you want it to be jarring, you want to feel it, but you don't want to make it impossible for the person who's already down to like fight back. Yeah, here let's do another cut in half just to see. Went from, and I'll check the live reloading. So I changed that. This one, which says debug, they both say debug next to it. We'll see if one or both of them live reloads. So if this one shoots me, ooh, 0.25 actually seems pretty nice too. I don't know. Oh, it totally didn't live reload this one. Live reloaded the top one, but not the bottom one, I think because I started it from the editor. Yeah. Yeah, sound effects for sure. For sure. Sound effects make a huge difference. The problem is, of course, that like picking sound effects on stream is usually boring, or at least the way I do it. Like the way I do sound effects is I go to all of the different, free asset places. Open Game Art is a good one, but there's a bunch. And then I just like listen to a ton of stuff and take notes. And after an hour of listening to things and taking notes, I then go back to the ones that I thought were the best and re-listen to those, and then pick one to try. And I don't know, that just wouldn't be fun on stream. So I'll do that. You think 0.5 is better, Elliot? I don't know. I was fond of both of them. I think we need to see in actual combat to see how it feels, to see if it's too jarring. Or maybe we'll just say between. I'll put a little note to myself here to as we zero in on this. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's only about 15 more minutes I'm going to be streaming, and then I have to eat some lunch and get back to real work, money-making work. So I don't think it makes sense to try and do more playtesting, since that seems to take up a bunch of time just getting everyone connected and stuff. So some other numbers to mess with. So there was this trauma power. I think I want to see what happens when we up that from 2 to 3, because how does that come in here? So I guess that controls the magnitude of the max amount before it starts decaying. It's like, what level of magnitude are we on? And then we decay at basically an even value. So maybe that's like how much sort of punch we're starting with and then coming down from. Let's see how that is. Interesting. I don't even see it on here. I see it a little bit, yeah. I'm surprised. So did I leave that at 2.5? 0.25? Or wait, no. Okay, so trauma to the power is trauma's a value between 1 and 0 and 1. So if it's 1 and we're going, and it changes with the trauma as the trauma updates. So this is describing which exponential curve we're on. Oh man, I might need to graph this to understand it. But I was expecting that to be punchier, and it actually felt softer. Go back to the 0.5, which should live update the top window. So if I have the bottom window guy shoot the top window guy. Let's just switch that power really quick and see what that does. So bottom guy shoots the top. Of course, they're reversed. Yeah, interesting. So the lower power level actually seems to be shakier than the higher power level. That is really interesting. So we're moving along an exponential curve, and we're changing what the power. So does that mean it decays faster? Because a higher exponent means it's a steeper line. So we hit that top, and then we decay faster because it's more of a rather than, because linear would just take us straight from nothing to something. We'd come down linearly, and a power of 2 would be with some amount of curve, and a power of 3 would be even deeper curve. So a higher power actually makes for a much quicker decay. I think that makes sense. If anyone watching is good at math and can obviously tell that I'm wrong about that, let me know. But I think that's what it is. I think that makes sense. Okay. So a higher trauma, but a higher power actually seems pretty nice. Like, so the 0.5, but the trauma power 3. So I want the window on the bottom to shoot the window on the top to see that live update. Yeah, I kind of like that because it's like more shake at the front and then just decays super, super fast. Okay, I also wanted to see what it was like with the roll turned off. Because, I mean, I guess right now I don't even notice the roll when it's set at such low values where it's so subtle. I mean, as subtle as a screen shake is, but like, I don't even notice that it's rolling. And so maybe I just never noticed that screen shake contains a roll. But I want to see what it's like without. Okay, so this one. That's interesting. Now that the roll isn't there, I do think I can tell that it's missing. We have to try a few thousand rounds to know for sure, yeah. This is where the daily playtesting is gonna really come in. So that should be with the roll turned back on, assuming that it live reloaded that, which I think it has been up till now. Oh man, the roll is so subtle. So the bottom should have no roll because it didn't live reload. And the top should have roll. Yeah. That's super subtle. I can barely tell it's there, but I think I like it better with the roll. That's interesting. Okay. This is how adding juice goes. You try things, you see how it feels. It's all about feeling when you're talking about juice. All right, so the simplex noise thing. I think that's probably the last thing I'm going to be able to fit into stream here, because I was planning to go to noon my time, which is in about 12 minutes. So let's see. We are going to instantiate open simplex noise object from Godot. This gets interesting. So we have to seed it, we add a period and octaves. I'll have to look at the algorithm for open simplex noise to know what that means, but for our purposes, rather than adding a random range, we are adding some noise from this open simplex noise. Makes me want tanks of different sizes, bigger, more armor, slower, regular, smaller, faster. Yeah. I think the focus for the Steam release is going to be on game modes, but like more tanks of more variety would be so cool. I think too, it isn't necessarily like we can get different tank feels without having different tanks by doing power-ups. Like I think I want to mess with match modes, so we can have capture the flag and teams and all that kind of stuff. But we can also mess around with adding more power-ups. Maybe there's a power-up that makes you faster, or gives you more armor, or maybe one that makes you gigantic for a little while. That would be hilarious, actually, like a Mario sort of super mushroom that makes you huge. That'd be interesting. But yeah, different tanks in some way, or different tank feels in some way. Whatever we can do without having to do too much work. Not because I'm lazy, although I am a little bit lazy. but because trying to get this game released on Steam in 6 weeks. All right, so let's see how this is working. So we want to add some new variables at the top. So this is creating noise, which we're going to think of as like a two-dimensional image. Noise Y we're using because we're going through different rows of the image, or at least that was what it looked like. Because here when we're getting noise 2D, we're grabbing from the seed and the Y value, which we are incrementing. So if we look at this image, it generates the noise, it creates an image like this. We're taking the first line, picking a random pixel on it, why are we multiplying the seed? That's interesting. So the seed is just a random integer, and we're multiplying it. I guess because we want to move through the row quicker, but I would have thought we wanted to move through the row like incrementally, but maybe it's so big that is incrementally? Interesting. I might have to spend some more time with OpenSimplex noise one of these days, but let's just integrate the code from this tutorial and play with it, and that should also help us to better understand how it works. So we don't need that randomize because if you remember from earlier, I did a randomize in the overall programs, in the main scenes ready function. We only need to really do that once for the application starting. So this created OpenSimplex noise. I don't like that we're using an onReady var and then initializing it below. Like, let's just do this. We'll do all of the initialization in one place. Like that. We'll declare it, give it a type, and then we'll actually initialize it here so that the initialization and this setup stuff all happens together. Okay. And in the shake function, we're going to replace our old code, which I'm going to leave here in case we want to go back to that. Didn't mean to delete it. So now we have the simplex noise version. Oh. What are you complaining about? Identifier amount. Oh, okay, so the amount is still the same deal. Same deal. Same deal with amount. We have our exponential curve version, and we have our... Well, it's still doing an exponential curve, actually. We're just randomizing where the screen goes using the OpenSimplex noise. Okay, let's give this a try. Start everything over fresh so that you know we're getting a clean slate. Nothing's running with the old code. Okay. Ooh. That is nice. It feels more animated. More like we're smoothly moving rather than just jittering. Okay. Let's try switching away from, we had switched the power to 3 to get that steeper decline. Let's switch to 2. Maybe more drastic, a slower decline, but with this smoother movement from the simplex noise. Okay, so this one live reloaded, so I shoot him from the bottom. Okay, I gotta bounce back to that. I just cannot feel the difference right now. Let me see. Wow, I just cannot tell. Oh, and of course, I killed him. I need a debug mode where they can live forever and I can just shoot him as much as I want to for the screen shake. Well, that's interesting. So even though it's always the same, each hit feels a little bit different because of the simplex noise. That was switching to the 2? Okay. I could tell there that that was definitely, the shake lasted a little bit longer. It didn't decay quite so fast. I'm going to just start everything over so I can be sure that I'm seeing it with that 2. And let's get in there. Oop. Okay, I think I like this. I was starting to miss how drastic the screen shake was, like when we first did it, and it just was insane. You know, all of the variations after were so subtle, but I think this is good. I mean, again, like all things, we're gonna have to play it with actual people and see how it feels when you're like actively trying to run away from 2 other tanks and not die. But no, I think I don't know. I think that's ready for a real live test. I got like 4 minutes left before the end of the stream. Elliot, I don't know if you're still around, but you want to try in these last couple minutes to sneak in a playtest of this? I'm going to push it with, we'll say, subtler screen shake. Elliot says he liked it, the more radical one, because it was more like it was worth the work. Yeah, no, let's, if you're able to give it a try, man, it's built-in now. It's on those public builders, so it should build a lot faster. Yeah, you can already see it's building all of the builds at once rather than doing them one at a time. So it should have this done in like, I don't know, a minute and a half. We can do one quick final screen shake run before I gotta call it quits. Let me get the link ready to go for whenever these builds finish. So it's got to finish web and it's got to finish pages. Should be soon though. This was super fun, guys. Thanks everyone for coming to watch the stream. I gotta remember to look this way. Maybe I should just move the camera over here next time, because your chat is over here, so I want to look at your words when I'm talking to you. But no, this was super fun, guys. You know, the last time I streamed, which I think was on this game, but in 2019, it just stressed me out so bad, and afterwards I was just like, I just didn't want to do it. But no, this was super pleasant, and you know, thanks to everyone who tried to get into a playtest. And yeah, I'm gonna try and stream again next Friday, and we're gonna try and do some daily playtesting on the Discord. So if you're interested in getting involved in that, I'm gonna do much more changes. Like on stream, you can't really do a lot of work very fast because you know you're talking and everything. But I'm hoping to have more changes happening each day, and so we're gonna try and do some daily playtests at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time in the Discord. If that time doesn't work for you, but you're still really interested in playtesting, like go in the Discord and ping me, and we'll try and figure something out. We can have multiple times, or week after next we could do a different time, or I don't know. Anyway, one last playtest in my last minute. If anyone is interested, I am loading this up. I'm gonna throw a match ID in here. I hope someone joins, otherwise this is going to be the most anticlimactic end to a stream. One last playtest, guys, and then just no one comes. Oh, okay, yeah, I can join to your ID. I guess I just need to know what we're doing. I'm going to stay here. Okay, you use mine. Cool. I'll stay here for you to get in. If that doesn't work, then we'll reverse this. Then you can make one, and I can join if you can't get in. Hey, Elliot's in. Where are you at? Oh, I gotta get hit for me to feel this. Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot me! Come on! Oh, okay. No, that's good. This is good. Okay, now I'm gonna try and really play, which may or may not mean that I get shot more. I'm not sure. But I want to get hit. Shoot me, man. Shoot me. Don't just stand there. I gotta get hit. I wonder what that's like with the three bullets. But I'm not seeing nothing till I get hit. Ah. Okay, we'll play test some more next time. I won't keep you on here any longer. Yeah, shakes way more with spread. Yeah, because it keeps adding up the amount. I want to see that so bad. I'm gonna have to engineer that myself offline. Get one of my characters spread and shoot myself. All right, guys. Thanks again. Thanks so much for coming to the stream. Join the Discord if you want to stay in touch, and yeah, catch you later.